Right now at 9 o'clock, tens of thousands of people are under wildfire evacuation orders and warnings. This as wildfires explode in size across the West. We've got brand new updates this hour from California, Nevada, and right here in Arizona.
Yeah, and some of that smoke is coming our way today. That's one of our big weather headlines. The other one, a cooling trend. Yes, a real cooling trend is underway.
And today, a national day of service in honor of 9/11. It's an opportunity for the country to come together and help those in need. So on this new this hour, how you can get involved and support nonprofits right here in the Valley. So we want to say good morning, Arizona, and thank you for joining us here at 9 o'clock.
Yes, we're going to get to all your day's top stories in just a moment, but we do want to check with April. A lot of you have been chiming in, talking about the smoke in the skies filtering. Earlier it was up north, but it's really visible now here in the Valley, too.
Yeah, because we got different sources. I mean, we got fires on the rim, we got a fire in the Superstitions, and then these massive fires in California. And that's really, I think, what's going to affect most of the Valley as the day goes along here. So right now, that's a live look toward downtown. You're going to see the smoke most right now. If you look to the east, you can see some of that smoke coming from the Superstitions. But if you look to the west, you're going to start to see that smoke coming in from California. It's 91 degrees right now in Phoenix. We've got 83 still at Luke Air Force Base, 89 in Surprise, and 86 in Buckeye, 85 at Queen Creek, and 88 in Mesa, 86 currently in Scottsdale. We've had a cooler morning. It's going to be a hot afternoon. 109, 102 is normal for this time of year. Sunny skies other than the smoke, and that smoke's kind of the wild card here in this forecast. If that smoke is thick enough, it could even keep temperatures down a little bit. Maybe we don't even make it to 109. Either way, it means probably yesterday was our last 110-degree day this year, so that is something to celebrate. We've also got even cooler weather coming by your weekend. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
April, thank you. Today marks the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the United States. So here you can see the American flag being unfurled this morning at the Pentagon, where American Airlines Flight 77 crashed after being hijacked, killing all 64 people on board, in addition to 125 people in the building. And we also have a live look out of New York City this morning, where the two planes hit the Twin Towers before the Pentagon attack, and another hijacked plane crashed into an open field in southwest Pennsylvania. In all, 2,996 people were killed on 9/11. So throughout the 9 o'clock hour, we'll bring you local memorials and volunteer events in honor of this somber day in American history. And of course, that is a live shot of all the names being read, which has been going on all morning long.
9:03 is our time right now, and all new this hour, the Coconino County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit makes a major drug bust in Flagstaff. So check this out. Deputies say yesterday they conducted a traffic stop on the I-17, and while searching the vehicle, their K-9 officer, you see right there, found more than 40 pounds of meth. The driver was arrested for a warrant out of Maricopa County and is now facing drug charges.
Well, it's just 8 weeks until Election Day. A lot of people tuned in for last night's presidential debate in Philadelphia.
Former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris fought over a variety of issues. It all kicked off with a handshake, marking the very first meeting between the two. The 90-minute debate soon turned into a sparring match, especially on the issue of the economy. And former President Trump came out swinging on inflation.
We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class.
Meanwhile, Harris detailed her plans to help aspiring business owners.
My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to start-up small businesses, knowing they are part of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit.
Well, all new this hour, we are getting brand new reaction from lawmakers on both sides, including one right here in Arizona.
So Kylie has our continuing coverage.
And the reaction continues to come in. And guys, it'll probably be like a week, maybe 10 days, 2 weeks until we see the reaction from the public in the polls. And if this changed anything, we know that this is a neck and neck race and continues to be so. So following last night's debate, which could potentially be the only time we see the two presidential candidates go head to head, lawmakers are talking about their reaction to this debate. Like we see with a lot of these political debates, it was not a full 90-minute policy discussion. Lots of personal attacks were exchanged on both sides. So I wanted to know, was the debate as substantive as it could have been? Arizona Democratic Representative Greg Stanton thinks so, but other lawmakers disagree.
She got in a lot of strong policy issues, but it is a debate. And unfortunately, in a debate, you got to point out not only your strength, but reasons why your opponent is not the right candidate. And I think in her case, she wanted to make that point that the demeanor of the former president is not appropriate for another term.
Kamala Harris couldn't answer a simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? She couldn't answer a simple question about what their plan to stop inflation would be. She couldn't answer a simple question about what she would do to secure the border. Time and time again, Kamala Harris had no answer.
Representative Stanton feels Harris was strong, steady, and forward-looking during last night's debate. Meantime, Republican Senator Tom Cotton praised former President Trump for laying out a clear contrast between his record and that of the Harris-Biden administration. We asked Representative Stanton about that. Here's his response, followed by reaction from North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum.
When someone is the vice president, you're there in support of the president of the United States. The vice president is one of the most important positions in all of America. You're a heartbeat away from the presidency, but you're not president. And so the vice president needs to show America that she is presidential material. And she did that very well last night.
I think that you saw last night Harris trying to run from the fact that she's part of the Biden-Harris administration, which their policies and their spending and their bills have led to that inflation.
So as of now, this is the only debate scheduled between the two candidates, although the Harris camp is calling for a second debate next month. We will wait and see if that actually happens. Scott, we'll send it over to you.
All right. Kylie, thank you. The race to the White House continues to come right through Arizona following Democratic vice presidential candidate Walz's visit to Tucson yesterday. It was his first solo trip to Arizona as the vice presidential candidate. Meanwhile, former President Trump will give a speech about the economy at Tucson Music Hall tomorrow. Second gentleman Doug Emhoff will also be in Tucson tomorrow, launching a new Way Forward bus tour.
Right now, the Phoenix Police Department is teaming up with Vitalant to honor fallen officer Zane Coolidge. As you know, he was shot and killed in line of duty last week while he and his partner responded to a car break-in in Phoenix. This is a look right now live at the blood drive going on to pay tribute to Officer Coolidge. The community is invited to donate blood at Vitalant's Phoenix and Cave Creek locations. This is going on till 2:30 this afternoon. Today is also Patriots Day, a day designated to give thanks to the brave first responders who put their lives on the line every single day.
As the nation reflects on 9/11, the town of Gilbert is getting ready for its annual memorial ceremony happening tonight near the Gilbert Civic Center.
Gilbert Fire and Rescue, along with the Gilbert Police Department, are remembering the lives lost, and they'll pay tribute to the brave first responders who answered the call. Colton joining us live in Gilbert now with more about tonight's ceremony. Good morning.
Good morning, Tess, and good morning, Scott. I want you to take a look at this beam right here. This is an 8-foot beam that was actually part of the North Tower from the World Trade Center. It held it up, and as you can see right now, is on display at this memorial that was built here about 12 years ago. Also around me, you can see there are some of the names of those lives who were lost that day. And to talk about what's happening tonight is Mike Connor, who's Deputy Chief of Gilbert Fire here. And he is talking to us about what is going on this evening and what people can expect. This is something that you do every year, and it's a huge turnout event.
Yeah, it's one of our favorites events, one of the events we wish we never had to have, but we were lucky enough in 2010 to get a chunk of steel from the tower. Opened this memorial in 2011, and every year we do something. So tonight at 6:30, we'll have about a 30-minute ceremony with the fire chief, the police chief, honor guard, pipes and drums, kind of a remembrance. And then following that, we have basically a tribute and lights that'll go on behind us. So we'll have 2 massive light towers that'll go up from about 7:30 to about 10 o'clock tonight. So everyone in the public's welcome to come here, join us for the memorial. And then if you can't make it then, we've got the grass area. Once the sun goes down, come over here, sit on the lawn. And we just ask people to come and remember and tell your kids, talk to your kids about what happened that night and enjoy the memorial and the light towers.
So the event starts at 6 o'clock now. And as you mentioned, families will be coming out here right now. And talk about the remembrance of the importance of remembering. There are people who are born now who haven't lived through that or seen that. I've got 2 kids myself who this is just going to be something in textbooks for them.
Yeah, that's the thing. You start looking at, we're 23 years now, and doing the memorials right after when it happened in 01, everyone had been around. You had small kids, and then now we see all the families come here, and you look around, and there's so many kids that they have no idea. They weren't born during the time, and we just really, it's up to us as parents and up to us to tell everyone, educate everybody about what happened, about the days, about the bravery that happened that day with all the first responders, and just one of those things. Never forget that's the biggest saying that's out there, but it's the most true thing we do. Just never forget, remember everything.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that. And again, guys, this event starts at 6 o'clock tonight with that lighting ceremony happening around the 7 o'clock hour. 2 beams of light will shoot up into the sky up until 10:30. And apparently it's huge. You can see these lights up and go up so high. So very impactful and very powerful. I'll send it back to you in studio.
Sure is. No question about it. Colton, thank you.
And as we head to break this morning, we bring you one more time to New York City, where the names of the victims continue to be read. The skyline forever changed on this day 23 years ago as we remember 9/11.